Hello, what is up YouTube? Welcome to today's Leetcode video. Today we will be doing separate black and white balls. So we are given a string S containing zeros and ones. And what we want to do is we want to calculate the minimum number of steps that it takes to group all of the black balls to the right and all of the white balls to the left. So the black balls are in the problem description considered as ones, and the white balls are considered zeros. So let's take a string for example. So 1 0 0 1 0 0 1. Okay, now to group all of these ones to the right, we want to ask, okay, this one is on the right place. But here we have a 0 and we contain a 1 on the left part of the string. So what we want to do is this one right here. We want to shift it all the way here. And once we shifted it, we have a string that looks something like this. We have this string. Now we go on to the next 0. We go on to the next 0. And we looked at the left part. Is there one? Okay, there is. Then we repeat this process. As you can see, this is maybe not the most optimal way to do it, but it's a good start. So now I will actually show you what an optimal solution to this problem will look like. I will use the same example. So 1 0 0 1 0 0 1. Okay, so let's consider a scenario where we have two pointers starting from the end of the string. So I'll just call them I and J. Okay, and what we want to do is when we encounter a 1 here, to our sum variable, which will be also our result, so I can actually call it result, res for sure, we want to add the difference between J and I. So we want to add this difference to this result variable. And since we encounter 1 here, 0 will be added because the J and I are on the same element. But you will see why it's useful in a second. When we encounter 1, and so s of I, when s of I is 1, we want to move both of the pointers one step to the left. Now both pointers are on the 0. When both pointers are on a 0, then we just want to move this I pointer. So we move it to the left. Again, we s of I is 0, we move it to the left, and see what we get now. This pointer is now on a 1. So what do we do then? We add to the result variable J and I, and we decrement both of these pointers. So we decrement, excuse me, I have to just move this along. So we decrement both of these pointers. Okay, so we can just imagine that this swap took place. I will just swap the elements. So this one is here. And now J is pointing again on a 0. So because s of I is 0, we want to further decrement this I pointer. So we decrement it again, and we decrement it again, and we again reached 1. And now we want to add the difference between these two, and then we decrement both pointers for the end. Okay, and that is the optimal solution. So I'll go ahead and show you the code for the solution. Okay, I will code up the solution in Python, and then when I finish in Python, I will code it also in C++. So we have the res variable, which will be initialized to 0. Then we have the last index, which will be the length of the string s that we are given as input, minus 1. Then the right pointer, that will be equal to the last index. I misspelled last, excuse me. Okay, and now we will have a loop. So we will have the left pointer, and this left pointer will go from last index. It will go until 0, so until -1, not including -1, and it will decrement by 1. And as we talked about earlier in the video, if s of left pointer is equal to 1, then what we want to do is to this res variable, we want to add the difference between the right pointer and the left pointer. And then we just decrement the right pointer. And return the result. The solution is pretty good. If you enjoyed the video, you can also stick around and see how the problem looks in C++, which we will do now. For the C++ version, we have the long result variable initialized to 0. Then we have the last index, which is the size of this array s, -1. And the right pointer is initialized to the last index. And then we have a for loop going from the last index up until 0, down until 0. And this left pointer is decreasing. So when this s of left pointer is equals to 1, then to this result variable, we want to add the difference between the right pointer and the left pointer. The solution in C++ is pretty efficient. So I hope you guys learned something new. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you find it useful. And see you in the next one.